Konnichiwa, Nihon Cricket Pod do Yokoso, and welcome to the end of season special of the Japan Cricket Podcast. I'm your host, Alan Kerr, and I have got an abundance of people with me today. I'm recording from the luxurious confines of the gentleman's residence in the Sun Palace, home to one Dhugal Bedingfield. He will be joining in a moment, but I've got to my left, Reo Sakurano-Thomas. How are you, Reo?
Good, thanks, Alan. Great to be back on the podcast.
And to my right, I have Deano Ruhode. Got your name right this time.
How are you going, Alan? Good to be back on the podcast and having another yarn.
Good. And Dude was off in his room tidying his bedroom because it's such a mess. So we've got a lot to get through today, folks. I'm gonna just warm up by saying we're going to be covering the Women's East Asia Cup. We're going to talk about the Japan Junior Leagues and their finals. We're going to talk about the Japan Cup finals. We're going to talk about the JCL T20 Finals, and we're going to talk about the JCL. So we've got the awards night tomorrow. This will come out after that, so everyone will already know who's won. But we're going to have a bit of fun ourselves. We're going to pick our own teams of the year, and I haven't told you guys yet, but we're also going to have a quiz at the end of this podcast. You guys are going to be under the pump, so that to look forward to. Questions have been designed with a little bit of general knowledge and a little bit of specialty knowledge in mind. So we'll start off with the Women's East Asia Cup. Fortunately, I had Reo at the Kaisuka grounds, specialist commentator, summariser and scorer, and of course Deano, head coach of the women's team. So I'll just quickly round up those results. For those who don't know, the East Asia Cup was played between just Japan and Hong Kong this year after China were unable to attend due to their strict lockdown rules at the moment, and Korea just didn't come. Hong Kong won the series 4-0, but that probably didn't do justice to the contest. They won the first game pretty comfortably, chasing down Japan's score of 90, 2 wickets down with 6 overs to spare. They won that game by 8 wickets. In the second game, they also won by 8 wickets, chasing down a score of 91 with 6.4 overs to spare. But then things got pretty interesting from game 3 onwards. Hong Kong posted the biggest score of the tournament, making 142 for 2, and Japan came within 3 runs of levelling that game, finished 139 for 4. And in the final game, Hong Kong mustered batting first, only managed 101 for 7, and Japan women also managed 101 for 7, and Hong Kong took it on the super over. So, Deano, first of all, your first tournament as head coach for the women's team. How was the experience, and how was it being down in Kaisuka, your first visit down there?
Oh, I guess starting off with Kaisuka, it was I just heard words about the venue, but it was a really nice field to play cricket on. Just the setting, the way we were welcomed by the local city council, the way the tournament organised was very impressive, and it was a good spectacle for cricket. The girls playing at a nice venue and attracting a fair bit of people too, which is really exciting. And the comment from the girls was like, "Oh, we've never played in front of so many people," which is something pretty exciting for them. Looking at the results as you've just mentioned, it didn't start off quite well for us, but we went away with a few positives at the end of the tournament, which was good, because going into the tournament, obviously having not played a lot of cricket, it was a bit difficult for the girls and for me as well, just weighing up how everything is going to sort of pan out in the 4 or 5 days, but we ended up going away with a few good takeaways at the end of the tournament.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It should be mentioned that Hong Kong were playing, I think, their 3rd international tournament of the year, and we hadn't played at all in 3 years. So, you know, for you, again, as a new coach, a new group of players, you've got to work out who's in what roles, and I guess that was something that probably dominated those first couple of games. We'll gloss over the first 2 because, frankly, they weren't much of a spectacle. Things didn't really go according to plan, and Mariko Hill and Natasha Miles sort of ran all over us, really. Betty Chan with the ball. But then in that 3rd game, it looked like you and assistant coach Bebe Miyagi had figured out what your sort of approach was going to be. There was a change in opening partnership, and why don't you tell us how that came about and how that changed things. Erika Oda made 40 off 30, I think, in that game, and Nakari Kano opening the batting as well made a maiden international half century. So you talk about positives, I guess those were two of the biggest.
Yeah, most definitely. I guess as you've just mentioned, going into the tournament were lots of we didn't know like the best combinations going in, and the first couple of games were sort of trying to play it safe, if I can say, be a bit conservative and sort of see how the games pan out as we play. But yeah, after the first two games, we decided to change it up a bit and sort of go for the trump card and be as positive as we can. And as you know, with T20 cricket, if a couple of people come off, then you're always in the game, and that probably happened in the third game. And I guess going into the fourth game, after the third game, the girls got a lot of confidence from the third game, and they sort of had that self-belief that they could probably get a win out of the last match. It didn't happen, but I guess the takeaway is it can be done for the girls, and we just need to play more cricket. As you mentioned, the two girls from Hong Kong are very experienced, and you could see the way they were batting. They know match-winning moments. They've been involved in similar matches, if I can say, and they ended up being the biggest difference between the two sides. Three scores of 50 from those two girls, I think, and they were all match-winning knocks. So, yeah, that's the game of cricket, especially T20, but lots of positives to take away from the whole tournament for the Japan women's team.
I'll turn to you, Reo. First of all, have you watched and been around much of the women's cricket scene, either in Japan or in New Zealand, and what did you make of these 4 matches as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't know too much about women's cricket going into it, but I knew a few of the Japanese players going into the tournament, and they were all really excited. Like you said, they haven't played a tournament in over 3 years, so they were all very much up for it. And I had no idea how the tournament was going to go before it started. But yeah, like Deano was saying, this whole tournament could have easily ended up 2-2, but it was just Hong Kong's experience that just put them over the top in the end. And you had 2 or 3 players on the Japan team where they were playing cricket for their first time, so it was pretty incredible just saying that and then coming so close to getting 2 wins from that.
Yeah, 8 debutantes for Japan. Same story as we had in the men's. From a spectator's point of view, Reo, who was the standout from the Japan team, and who do you think is one for fans to watch going forward and to get excited about?
I mean, yeah, I think Akari Kano, she has something about her, like that 50 and that close loss in the third match, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, you could just see that she has that fight in her, and that's maybe what was missing a little bit in the first 2 games, and you really saw that shine through in her batting, and she kept well that whole series, so I was really surprised at how she went over the tournament. So yeah, she's a name that really stuck out to me.
You'd be putting in a call to the fair break organisers, telling them to sign her up, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Deano, I'm going to throw the same question over to you. As a coach, who are you most excited about looking ahead over the next sort of, 2-3 years? Who's going to emerge as the next superstar from the Japan women's team?
I guess I'll go the same way as Reo. Like Akari, very impressive. I think she's got a lot to give in the next few years, not only as a better and wicket keeper in our team, but as a leader as well. She's got a bit of tick in her, as I always say. She's got a fight in her, and I think out of our whole group, she's probably up there mentally. Has got a good mental game, and she backs herself, and has got that real true Japanese spirit, never give up attitude, which is really good to see. And yeah, she always gets the girls up going, and she's loud. She's just good value in and around the group.
Saying all these nice things about Akari, I can say with pretty much 90% certainty or 95% that she won't listen to this podcast. But someone else will have to tell her that we said all these nice things about her. Okay, well, we're still waiting for 100% confirmation on when the next event for the women's team will be, but an East Asia Cup next year will hopefully be in the offing, as well as a ICC T20 World Cup qualifier. So exciting times ahead in 2023, Deano, and hopefully you'll be going into those much better prepared, much better set up, having had this first tournament and those 4 games under your belt as a unit. The girls hopefully a lot to be excited about. We've talked a lot previously about the men's team having a lot of turnover, and the 8 debutants in the women. We'd be pretty hopeful that next year actually, you've got a bit of a settled squad now, and that you'll be able to attack these next tournaments with a group of girls who are forming a bit of a bond and can work together for the benefit and the greatness of Japan cricket. Is that right?
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, over the past week, catching up with the girls after the tournament, they're all very excited about what's next from here. And I guess playing cricket against a different opposition was a real wake-up call for them with regards to what's required at this level, the sort of commitment you need, the sort of skill level you need. So it's starting to take shape slowly, and just opportunities the girls need, and a bit of guidance here and there, and I guess they'll be competitive coming in next year.
Yeah, just to finish off, of course, we had a couple of girls in the team based overseas. Reo, I'm going to throw this one to you because you've been playing alongside for the men's team both Japanese-based players and some of the boys who came in living in Australia and in England and elsewhere. We had Shimako and Ahilia, and now of course Mai Yanagida, who was captaining the team, has just moved to Melbourne. So that kind of expertise and knowledge, you've seen it come into the men's team. Do you think that's going to help out the girls significantly as they go ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a big hole. Growing up in Japan is not being exposed to cricket or watching on TV, which you get all the time, and living in countries like Australia and New Zealand. So I feel like those girls need to do what they can to share their cricket knowledge to the other girls. It seems easy growing up in cricket about simple field settings or like match situation scenarios, but for some people growing up in Japan, they don't know those things.
Yeah,
so
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So it's just trying to share your cricket knowledge as much as you can off the field to them, so it helps them. Yeah,
there was no real surprise, those two girls opening the bowling and ending up batting at 4 and 5, I think, or 3 and 4 by the latter 8 stages of the tournament. So yeah, that expertise definitely coming through. Alright, we're going to wrap that up on the East Asia Cup, and I'm going to give Reo a little bit of a breather because I'm going to keep you here, Deano, but I'm going to bring in our community cricket manager, our men's team coach, our all-round regular on the pod, Dhugal Bedingfield. Dhugal, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Yeah, reached the end of the season.
Thank God.
It's been a long one. After 2 years of not doing much at all, had to work this year.
I know.
Yeah.
Goodness me, who'd have thought it? Thanks for lending us your humble abode, the gentleman's residence, for this evening recording. It's quite luxurious, I must say.
Anytime.
No, I'll hold you to that. So, we're going to move on to junior finals. Dukes, these are two competitions, the 15s and 19s, that you've spent a lot of time on over the years, developing and growing. And just to begin with, why don't you tell us a little bit about where those two leagues are at, and how impressed you are, if you are, with the with what they're producing, the standard they're producing, the players that are coming through, and how it looks all round.
Yeah, well, the idea is for us to have continual growth each year. Very much open to welcoming new teams into the under-15, under-19 leagues, and this year was no different. We continue to grow, and 9 teams took part in the under-19 league this year, and 11 teams took part in the under-15 league. So up to like those 20 junior teams, which is a lot more than we had, say, 5 or 6 years ago, and actually starting to produce some pretty good players and get some pretty good games of junior cricket as well. It was a 10-match season for the under-19s, and the Division 1 of the under-15s was a 9-match season, so the kids are getting to play a little bit more cricket as well.
There's a lot of cricket, isn't it? I think it's worth mentioning just as we start, and I might get you to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the under-15s play modified rules, modified playing conditions. It's, I want to say 35 and retire, or 25 balls.
Yeah,
and you've got to use 7 bowlers, right? So anyone who's looking at scorecards, and it's 8, is it?
Yeah.
Anyone who's looking at scorecards and wondering why there's so many retired hurts, it's not because there's like people falling over or kids getting hit in the head. There's just no way of putting down retired out. So
retired out is out. Which it's actually retired.
You're not allowed to come back in.
It's retired not out, I think, but on the app that we use, it's not really clear what we should be choosing. So a lot of the time, it is retired hurt because you get to come back in if everyone else is out.
There's all these players and these scorecards retired hurt, and everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, what's going on in there? What pitches are they playing on?"
So many injuries in our under 15 leagues.
It's mortal danger these kids are in. But no, that's not the case. So talk us. The under 15 league split into 2 divisions. I actually saw a post on Twitter from Tamlin Worrell, who you'll remember. She was a key member of getting the BST Lions set up, and we'll come to them in a minute. But Tamlin was just so thrilled to see enough teams to have 2 divisions, which I know it's been that way for a couple of years, but it is exciting times, and we'll start there. I want you to talk us through what was going on in the under 15 league. I've got some of the scores in front of me. We'll talk about, to begin with, the Division 2 champions. I think Alpha Quashers ended up winning. Am I got that right? Have I got that right? I've bottled that, haven't I?
Yeah, you have.
Oh no!
So Alpha Quashers actually won the under 15s Division 2 last year.
Last year,
I think you're referring to. So the Division 2 is basically geared to like really new players to cricket. So some of the kids are, we say under 15, but some of them might be 11 or 12 and just getting a taste for that hardball cricket. So it's quite an even league, really. We had Akashima Aviators finish on top on points, but then
great season.
Then lose the semi-final to the Tokyo Titans, who had finished 4th, scraped into 4th place even. And then the Titans went on to comfortably win the final against Serendip to take out the Division 2 of the under-15. So well done to the Titans there.
Yeah, I've got the scorecard in front of me. They've chased down 120 in 11 overs, 1 down. And obviously there's a retired hurt in that scorecard. So he was fine. Path is okay, everyone. Don't worry. He was 34 retired out.
Yeah, so the Titans have just kind of got better as they went along this year with their under-15 team, so well done there.
Which is what you'd expect to see, I guess.
Well, you do see it a lot with teams starting the season. That sometimes the coaches are telling me, I don't think these boys are ready to play hardball cricket. I say, they'll be fine. And by the end of the season, they're smashing 4s and 6s. And
it's probably the league where players develop the most, the fastest as well. In a single year, you can get guys at the start of the year who can't hold a bat, and at the end of the year, they're smashing it. So I'm going to bring Deano in here because Deano, you're coaching in the under-15s league. The Sano Braves are, of course, your team. They've ended up coming in 3rd. They beat Men in Blue in the 3rd place playoff. So what's it like coaching in the under-15s, and what do you as a coach learn from being in that environment? You're also coaching the women's team. You're involved with the men's team as assistant coach this year. You're head coach of the academy. So when you're working with such a broad range of players, does it challenge you in a way that helps you develop as well?
Yeah, most definitely. Like coming from coaching the women's and going to coach the Braves, it's a massive change with regards to like attitude, approach to the game, the temperament of the players, and the forecast. Really, I guess we're zoning down on the Braves. It's more of making the boys enjoy their cricket. Well, boys and girls, making them enjoy their cricket.
Yeah, because they're mixed teams, right?
Yeah, mixed teams. So, like Son of Braves, we've got like three girls involved. So, yeah, it's making them enjoy the game and appreciate the game, and then you sort of incorporate the skills in a way which will make the team come back again the next week, because you want them to enjoy cricket, to for cricket to become an option for them, because some of these kids are playing different sports. So you really have to be careful with how you sort of send out your message, your approach, how you carry yourself around the group is really important when you're coaching like this particular group, as you've said. But it's overall it's very enjoyable. Looking at the Braves, they improved over the course of the season, which is really good, and they're a bit disappointed that they didn't make the final, which is sort of what you want to see as a coach, a bit of disappointment. It means they care about what they're doing. So yeah, we're getting somewhere. We're slowly improving as a team, and hopefully next year they take it a bit deeper and we make the final.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Braves have got a bit of a tradition of success in that tournament, so hopefully those players are aware of that and looking to emulate the kids of the past. But really the Under-15 League was all about one team this year, wasn't it, Dougal? The BST Lions, I mentioned them a moment ago, they've dominated from start to finish, really, and a whole host of players in that team who have been selected in the Japan Academy squad this year, and any number of players could stand up and produce, so that must be something to be excited about. They're a team that you and I were both involved with setting up and seeing that team develop and grow, and next year hopefully having an under-19s team. So one of the success stories of the year, wouldn't you say? Yeah,
they got a group of players who are around the same age. You're Tim Moore, Tiger Haig, Noah Mikulski, and probably the talent they have, they're probably expected to win the Under-15 final this year, which they did. Credit to them, and that group of players are going to have a much bigger challenge next year when they kind of graduate into the Under-19 league. But tell you what, the Alpha Quashers put up a pretty good fight there in the Under-15s. They're going really well with their junior programs as well.
Yeah, they are, and they were front and centre. That's what I'm getting confused. But they came third in the Under-19s league this year, I believe.
Yeah, they've just been sneaking up there with their juniors. They didn't even have a junior program a couple of years ago, and now they're doing really well.
Yeah, and in that third place playoff, a certain Aditya Fadki made 94 of 67 deliveries. So, plenty of talent in the Quashers and players to look up to, I would hope. But it was the Sano Braves, coached by a certain Deano. Who've ended up winning the day again, much like the 15. It's a proud tradition of the Braves. They've won. I don't have the details to hand, but I know they've won the title a few times in recent years. And I guess what's more interesting is that they're up against the Tokyo Falcons, who had been pretty impressive throughout the season. And I have to flag their game.
Can we just talk about the semi-final?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to talk about. I wasn't even going to talk about the semi-final, actually. I was going to talk about their last group game, when they scored 258 for 2 in 20 overs.
Yeah,
with Nikhil Pol striking 116 not out of 66 deliveries. No 35 and retired in the Under-19 league. But then in the semi-final, they've not quite gone one better, but Rithvik Sivakumar has made 111 from 49.
So where's this come from?
Yeah, I mean,
Rithvik has always had a bit of ability with a bat, but I wasn't seeing 111 off 49.
Yeah,
coming.
Well, Dino, you're super coach. You've been working with him this year. You've played with him alongside him in the Community Cup, where the National Academy has played, and he made a 70-odd in one of those games, if memory recalls. So something just clicked for that kid?
Yeah, I guess from my point of view, looking at Rithvik, very good temperament, and I guess once he's settled in, he's got a good temperament to face a lot of balls, and that's probably his strength. Pretty calm, and
you didn't face that many, mate. 49 balls. You got 111.
That's a lot of balls in under-19 cricket.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a very capable kid, and I hope he keeps on improving, and we'll see him in seniors cricket next year. I think he's probably ready for that next step and get a better challenge going into next year.
Yes, I mean, if he was perhaps a bit of a surprise, the performances of Nikhil Pol, 200s and a 50 over the course of the season. less of a surprise. Dougal, you actually flagged him in the start of the season chat that we had, so you've called him out there and you've been proved right. Nikhil, bit of a man-child and someone who is certainly making his name in the Japan cricket scene. So the Falcons, I think, coming into that final would have been pretty confident, but Dino, your side were the ones that came out on top. I think perhaps a bit more experience playing on the turf helped out. The Falcons rolled over for 67, largely thanks to the old head of Kazumasa Hiratsuka picking up 3 for not many. Those Sano boys have had a lot of experience on that. But for you, we'll talk a bit about Kazumasa. He's a player who must be a gem to have in your under-19 team, isn't he?
Yeah. I guess just from cricket side, is just generally a nice person, and all the kids look up to him, and he's very welcoming and inclusive. Is just a good person to have around the group, and as a cricketer, absolute dream to have him. The experience he brings, the way he captains and helps out everyone is really impressive, and he deserves a lot of credit for how the boys went this season. And saying that, bit of a mention to his brother too, Shotara. He hasn't done too badly either. It will be interesting to see how the team goes next year without Kazumasa. Yeah, that'll be a big test for them to see how they go and how they approach things, because they all look up to Kazumasa. And in that particular game when Kazumasa went out, you should have seen some of the faces out there.
Well, it's funny you say that, because it was only a few years ago, when he was playing with the under-19s, it used to be the same as, like, if Marcus gets out, everyone's worried who's going to score the runs. And as time goes on, Kazumasa comes through, and that's just the cycle of junior cricket, isn't it? Yeah. Someone steps up, and as we look at the under-19 team coming up, we've got plenty of guys. We just mentioned Nikhil and Ritvik. You've got Tomo Reo. You've got Nihal Palmer has been going well as well. Yeah. So plenty of guys ready to step up. But I think Kazumasa, he sets the standard, doesn't he? And in that semi-final, he took one of the best catches I've seen this year in the gully, just flinging himself away to get rid of poor Tomo Reo. He wasn't all that happy about that. It's the best shot he played. He just picked out the wrong guy. But Sano winning the under-19s. And that wrapped up a pretty good junior season, as Dougal says. That's a lot of cricket those kids are playing, and I think that all in all, it's a credit to the way the junior comps are set up to have so many players playing so much cricket. So a big pat on the back there, and then we'll move on to Japan's biggest competition, the Japan Cup. Now, I should be sitting here with all the details of the regional winners, but I don't have them. So Dougal, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who won all the regional comps this year?
Oh, I'm surprised you don't know. I'm such a big fan of cricket, especially cricket in Japan.
I follow the leagues and I miss the finals because they happen in a busy time for me.
Sure.
I'll just sorry.
Do you want to run through them quickly? Or?
So we start with North Kanto. Who's North Kanto champions?
The Ceylon 11, very strong team. Sri Lankan base, won Division 1, and a new team won Division 2, the Saitama Lions.
Interesting.
Kind of came from nowhere to win Division 2.
Team on the up. I like to go from north to south.
Sure.
I think I know who won the south, but I'll let you run with it.
Tokyo Wombats somehow found themselves in Division 2, and they're a little bit too good for that, so they were the champions there. Division 1, no surprises, the Tigers, under the great Subarish Ravichandran.
Name in hushed tones.
Managed to win South Kanto again.
And out west?
West Kanto. Division 2, Serendib have entered 2 teams in West Kanto this year. So the Serendib Titans, their second team, won Division 2. The Wyverns, perennial champions of Division 1, no different this year.
Good on them.
Under Miyoshi, won it pretty comfortably.
I left your region to the last of the Kanto regions because I know it was absolute chaos in East Kanto.
Yeah, chaos, exactly.
Rain.
Yeah, there's a lot of rain disrupting the finals. So, unfortunately the finals weren't able to be played on the scheduled day. Division 2 Myoden Cricket Club were crowned the champions, and the Tuskers, last year's actual Japan Cup winners were the champions of East Kanto.
How'd your team go, mate?
Didn't win a game.
From runners up to dead last. That's
yeah, the
your
second
ranking's
best
gonna take
team
a
in
hit.
Japan to the worst team in East Kanto in the space of a few months. It's not going to help our rankings.
Cricket's a tough game.
No.
Rayo, I won't ask you how your team went. Mate, don't worry.
We'll be there next year.
So that takes us to Japan Cup Finals. Now, actually, sorry, I'm forgetting myself. Tokai. Give us Tokai and give us Kansai.
The Kawasaki Knight Riders won the Tokai region very narrowly.
Dominated until the final.
Well, they did, but tough final against the Nagoya Bengal Tigers, but they managed to get across the line. Over in Kansai, we had the Kyoto Super Lions just had an amazing season, winning Division 1 after having been promoted from Division 2, and they were quite comfortable winners in Kansai this year. Didn't do very well at the finals tournament, though.
I didn't actually know that they'd won that.
No, they won it.
I'm not going to make myself look stupid. And who was the other team to go through to Japan Cup Finals from Kansai?
So the two more teams, the Osaka Lions and the Kobe Hawks, both went through, who did better at the finals than actually the Kansai champions. And down in the Division 2, we had another new team, the Kyoto United, won Division 2. So well done there.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's worth saying that the Japan Cup Finals, there's quite a... We want to give a lot of people a chance to qualify, right? So the regional champions go through.
Yeah.
A few runners-up go through. And some
exactly.
regions get 2 spots. Some have to qualify through the playoff day,
Yeah.
which is absolute bedlam, which I love. Chaos reigns. At
Madness.
And Wombats, the team you mentioned a minute ago, somehow managed to get themselves through to Japan Cup Finals.
Who knows how, but they have, yeah.
They robbed me of a couple of umpires. And that brings in, what was it, 12 teams at Japan Cup Finals.
That's
and,
right.
The first round, just for people who don't know, first round of Japan Cup Finals is essentially a knockout. Isn't it? It's one game, and then those 6 teams move into like a plate competition. And
It's hard to describe. It's a knockout, but there are 2 lucky losers.
2 lucky losers who go into
with that.
quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
So that's how all that works out. And then I was lucky enough to spend a couple of days at the SICG watching the 2 games there. And I mean, I have to flag Super Navaratna on day 1.
He was on fire, wasn't he? I didn't even get to see him bat. I was just looking at the scores. He's 80 off 20 or some rubbish.
His team are chasing 87 to win, and he scored 83 or something insane. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was. I think there are records out there about the highest percentage of your team's total, and he's got to be up there.
That was actually what I told him to do when he
was
played
playing
for
for
Japan,
Japan.
but he was just a couple of weeks too late.
Yeah, the funny thing was he wasn't feeling that great over the weekend, and I think it was just a case of I don't want to run, so I'm just going to clear the fence.
Fair enough.
But Reo, you were around for a lot of that. Your first Japan Cup Finals. You were ground manager down at the River Grounds after Sano unfortunately didn't make it anywhere. What did you make of Japan Cup Finals? You're there watching the teams battle it out. It's a competition that means a lot to a lot of people. Did that shine through in the games you were watching?
Yeah, it was a good couple fun days. Everyone's really competitive. I was quite surprised. Everyone was playing their heart out that whole weekend. I wasn't really doing much, just replacing balls that were lost in the river. That's about it.
You didn't get bitten by any snakes?
Nah. But some really good competitions. Some really close games down at the River Grounds. I think Dhugal was looking after some games where they needed like 4 to win off the last ball and won by 6
on day 1. Didn't you see 2 games with 6 off the last ball to win the game?
I was down at the Sun River Ground 2, which is a very small ground, and in both matches it came down to the last ball, and the team batting second needed to hit a 6 off the last ball to win the game. And in both matches, that's what they did. I've never seen anything like it.
Extraordinary stuff.
Players running onto the ground. And one of them, the Kobe Hawks, unfortunately lost the first match against the Alpha Quashers, having conceded 6 off the last ball. But they actually made it through because obviously they were one of the best losers. So I remember speaking to the team manager who was so excited that they had managed to get through even though that they'd lost. So there was that emotion of disappointment followed by, we're still through to the next round. So
yeah, we had similar stuff up at the SICG that day. We had Wyverns against Ceylon. Wyverns bowled all out for 81 and Ceylon getting their 9 down with 2 balls to spare. So it was...
Wouldn't read about it.
That Saturday Japan Cup Finals really was a day for the close games. And then come the final, we had Tigers winning through in their semi-final. They got home against the Tuskers, knocked out the defending champions. Meanwhile, one of the very much fancied teams, Scuba Cricket Club, got home against KKR with just 4 balls to spare. And then that final, Dougal, you were there. Talk us through how it transpired. The Tigers eventually claiming their first ever Japan Cup title, and they were pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's fair to say they were excited. The match was played on a kind of a wearing pitch. I guess it was a slow pitch, conducive to spin. And the Tigers, I think, putting up 116 for 10 might not look like much, but it was the kind of score that you'd be pretty happy trying to defend on that wicket. I thought Scuba actually let Tigers off the hook a few times during that innings with some kind of sloppy fielding, and probably could have had the Tigers at 80 or 90, I thought, and chased it down. Scuba ended up finishing 93 for 9 wickets after the 20 overs, which is an indication of how hard it was to bat on. So I think they were just a little bit lax with their fielding and really kind of putting pressure on Tigers during their innings, and got off to a great start with the bat. Chanaka Madhushanka, who can hit a long ball, 33 off 23. So when one of your openers starts like that, you expect to be able to chase down 116, but it wasn't the case. Sabarish Ravichandran bowled really, really well.
Scored 48 as well, yeah. Chanaka's
2 for 9 off his 4.
Chanaka's was an interesting innings, wasn't it? He's made 33 off 23, but he's hit 30 in boundaries. So he's probably only had 8 or 9 scoring shots, and then quite a lot of dot balls, which again shows when it was in the slot you could hit, but if it wasn't, making those judgment calls were difficult. And for Sabarish, 48 off 37, and the next highest score was 11 in that innings. So very much held things together with the bat, and Tigers kept their nerve to win that trophy. And I know that was a trophy missing from their cabinet, and one that they very much wanted to get hold of. So
no, they certainly deserved to win. They played better cricket, they played smarter cricket, they worked harder, I thought, than Scuba did. So yeah, they probably deserved to win that one.
Hearty congratulations to the Tigers. Okay, we're going to move on to one of the comps that I feel a bit personally invested in. The JCL T20 was a competition that was new for this year. And it was one that I think produced some good, exciting cricket, and ultimately the quarterfinals day and the semi-finals day were ones that were really, really enjoyable and really exciting to watch. Dougal, you were a part of that comp. Reo, you were a part of that comp. Reo, I'll go to you because you've been quiet for a while. How did you find playing in that? You came a bit unstuck with the weather, from what I recall.
Out of the 3 games in the group stage, I played 1. Started off with a great win against the Sharks.
No.
And then first game was rained off. Second game was a great win against Sharks. And in that third game, 80% of our team went down to either COVID or a Japan Cup clash. So we were playing with a very depleted squad and absolutely got smashed against the Quashers. So on run rate we didn't make it through.
The Quashers topped your group, and then you just got done. Dino, you were...
I watched my team suffer. I was in the nets coaching.
One of the vagaries of Japan cricket scene, isn't it? You can be not playing because you've got a coach and just watching the team go out of a competition.
No, but apart from my personal experiences, I thought it was a good competition, especially because T20 is such a big focus in the modern game, and especially during that time when it's 35 plus every day, you shouldn't be playing 30 over plus cricket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
seems suitable.
Now, Dougal, you were there in finals day. The Chiba Sharks, the Tokyo Falcons, the Paddy Foleys, and the Rising Stars. Eventually, the 4 teams that made it through to finals day.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I know.
Those 4 teams.
It was a bit of a surprise. And it was a surprise win in the end for the Paddy Foleys, one of Japan's oldest clubs. They've been around a long time. They've been around so long that the pub they're named after no longer exists. In fact, the pub no longer exists since I've been in Japan. That's
It was a pretty good pub back in the day.
so I'm told.
Yeah. So one of the founding members of the Paddy Foleys Cricket Club, Suleiman Rana, was a bartender there at Paddy Foleys, and he's a sociable guy. He met a lot of cricket players and helped found the club. He later left his job as a bartender to make millions of billions of yen.
He's doing all right wherever he is now. Last time I saw him, he was buying me drinks, so he must have been doing all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Paddy Foleys. It was an interesting game all up. The Chiba Sharks. Ibi Takahashi was coming to the fore, but I mean we won't talk about it too much. We've got a fair bit to get through, but as a competition, Dukes, happy with how it went. 16 teams taking part. The weather didn't help us. It's not supposed to rain in August, but a competition that you see coming back strong next year.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good competition around that August period. The weather just didn't cooperate, and as Rio hinted at, I think half the cricket community had COVID at that point as well.
Yeah, it didn't help.
I reckon next year it's going to be a pretty good competition though, and I think a lot of the club's going to take it very seriously and try to win it.
It reminds me a bit of Porto winning the Football Champions League. You know, you got Paddy Foleys coming from nowhere, winning the competition. Everyone thinks, do you know what? We can win this. Of course we can.
Yeah,
it's an open comp. T20. That's what T20 cricket is. It's open.
Yeah.
So I think that, now that it's been done once, people will look at that comp, and I think there are a couple of teams not in it as well who might look at it and go, "Why aren't we in this competition?"
Do you want to name them?
Wombats, Adelaide,
Yep,
and KO.
KO didn't take part either.
With the third team, yeah. So hopefully that would be great if those 3 teams come in. I mean, particularly KO are a team that have had a great season. We're about to move on to the JCL. But you want the 16 JCL teams. That being said, you know those guys who came in gave it a fair crack, but yeah, that's a competition that us as the JCL, us as the JCA really want to invest in and want to see teams improving and coming through and supporting the strong clubs in Japan, don't we? So let's see how that one goes next. Now, I'm expecting that everyone listening here is here for the JCL. That's usually the competition that we focus on the Japan Cricket Podcast. I don't know what that noise was. So look, we're all in. Deano, I'm going to call on you first of all because you played a little bit in the JCL. You didn't play as much as you'd like, but as someone coming into Japan Cricket for the first time, playing longer format, 40 over cricket, what did you make of it?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty interesting competition. Like, I haven't played a lot of 40 over cricket. I'm used to playing 50 over cricket and 2-day cricket. So it was pretty interesting comp, and obviously playing in the new team, and I would like to believe I've played cricket in a few places, and I think cricket is played differently in different places, and same with Japan, cricket is played differently, and yeah, it was exciting being part of it and being part of a new team with new teammates. So I'm excited to see how next season pans out. Hopefully I'll get to play a few more games, and yeah.
I wouldn't count on it, mate. I've seen your schedule for next year already.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very, very excited and to see how we go as a team, and hopefully get a couple of games, it will be great.
And of course, you played alongside another man in the room, Reo Sakurano. Reo, we talked about this when you were on the podcast before, the overall standard of the JCL, and from a Sano Cricket Club point of view, and our pre-season tournament preview, Dhugal Bedingfield described you as the Colin de Grandhomme of Japan cricket, and picked your team to finish second. Now, you didn't quite manage that. What went wrong?
What went wrong? A lot of number of things. Obviously just winning. Sano won one game last year, so it was a definite improvement finishing fifth, and we could have easily finished in the top four. There's a couple of things just didn't go our way. I think we had 3 rainouts, a draw.
You had a tie against the team that finished top of the table, right?
We should have definitely won that game.
Reo, what's your position on Mancats?
Run out, non-striker run-outs, I believe is the official term, Dougal. But yes, there was a dismissal that caught the eye in the match Sano against Men in Blue, which was an effective playoff for finals.
Yeah, so basically the winner of that game was either going to finish third or fourth, and unfortunately that was just before our Indonesia series, so myself and Tanyama were not able to play, but our guys gave a heck of an effort, bowling them out for 115 or so, and falling 10 or 20 short, I think. And it was the big man Benzo who was striking the ball beautifully that day, and unfortunately
went for a wonder at the non-strikers end.
Yeah, exactly. So,
stay in your crease, mate.
No, but I think with the squad that we have, we should definitely be making the top 4 next year. It was a great first season for our side, but I only played maybe 4 or 6 games, so I still haven't seen quite a few of the sides, but obviously reporting after every week on the one short, I've come to learn a lot of new names and most of the teams and what they're like. So
you just outed yourself as one of One Short's mystery reporters. Unbelievable, the first one. Dougal, of course, putting your Chiba Sharks hat on. Not quite the season that you would have hoped for as defending champions. It was the same a couple of years ago. You won it, you struggled, and then you won it again. So, are we expecting a big bounce back from the Sharks next year?
Yeah, it's a funny one. Like, we say it's a long season. It's also quite a short season as well, depending on how you look at it. Like, games get rained off, and we played really well in 2 games, played really poorly in 2 games. The rest were very, very close, and most of those we lost.
Yeah, the Sharks had a habit of losing close games. I didn't notice that. Now, well, I won't grill you on that too much, but I mean, I do have to look across to the way the points table finished. We had Tokyo Rangers and the Tigers both going through the season unbeaten.
Two dominant teams.
Tigers did lose a game, but Rangers were unbeaten. Of course, they didn't play each other in the league season. Their game got rained off, and then we had Falcons and Men in Blue making the finals. Rangers were the surprise package, and we should talk about them a little bit. They newly promoted side. They finished as runners-up in the Division 2 final a year ago, and they came into Division 1. And from my point of view, watching them, they started the season well, but it was when they scored like 450 against Wombats, you started to think, do you know what, these guys might actually be genuine title contenders. That fair to say? Do you think they're a force to be reckoned with, and they're going to be around for the long haul?
Oh, just the way they recruited, I guess it was very targeted, and they've gone after probably some or most of the best Sri Lankan players playing in Japan, and they're very, very good cricketers. And the team probably gelled a little bit better than some people thought it would this year, and they ended up being a very dominant team. I think it might have been a tie against Sano.
They did.
But the rest of the games they won, and some of them they won quite comfortably to finish top of the table. And deservedly took their place in the final and just couldn't quite get themselves across the line. Batting second at the SRCG is a challenge on the turf sometimes, but they did. Should be proud of their efforts.
Yeah, it was a terrific final. We'll just gloss through the semis quickly. The Rangers got there courtesy of a big win against the Tokyo Falcons, last year's runners-up, 218 for 9, and they bowled the Falcons all out for 80. The Tigers had an even bigger win. Just obviously, Reo had a word in their ear to enact
demolition.
289 for 4, followed by 42 all out for the men in blue.
Was there some karma involved?
They chose the wrong day to not show up. But the final, it was a fascinating game. I was there watching it, and the Tigers have battled to 191 for 8. They the pitch played really well that day. It was the best I've seen it play all year, I think. Ranjith Mooley was such a key part of the Tigers' successful JCL win a couple of years ago. He made 47 at the top, batting the way that he does.
What an amazing final series he's had.
Yeah, absolutely made 100 in the semis.
He's been the hero of the finals.
Very much so, yeah. But then it was Anas Mohammed who gave the team this surge at the end. He's made 48 off 39. And the Tigers at one point didn't look like they were going to make 150, and they've ended up with 191. And again, it was almost a mirror image in the second innings. The Rangers struggled at top, but suddenly Vinod Kumar Thakur got going. He finished with 49 off 68, but that doesn't really tell the full story. He suddenly started motoring in partnership with Melinda Sanjaya, who struck 59 off 40, coming in at number 8. And coming into the last over, anything, that was the penultimate over, anything could happen. There was a caught and bowled by Subhash Ravichandran to remove Vinod Thakur, and after that, suddenly things just fell away, and they couldn't get the right batters on strike to the right bowlers, and the Tigers held out. But there were some pretty nervy Tigers around, and some pretty disappointed Rangers that day as well. They're worth mentioning their Division 2 side also fell down in a really tight game in the Division 2 final against the Tokyo Falcons. The Falcons had crept home with 1 wicket to spare thanks to runs late down the order from Prem Kaswani, and the Division poor Rangers, we've talked about them a little bit, but they've finished runners up in 3 finals in a row now. They'll be a little bit sore about that, I'm sure. Meanwhile, in Division 3, just to quickly mention, we mentioned KO United earlier. They took to the finals with Alpha Quash's Men in Blue and Tigers. At one point, it looked like the Tigers might win all 3 divisions and the Japan Cup.
It's never the case, though, is it?
Never quite works out that way, does it? And in the end, it was, I believe, the Alpha Quashers who won their first ever JCL title.
It was. I was at that match to present the Shield. And great support from the Alpha Quashers. They had a lot of their junior players there, which was fantastic to see. And just a lot of club supporters in general. And they for batting first and being 4 for 16 is never a good thing in a final.
Not a great start, is it?
But actually, I should mention the way the Tigers captain spoke after the match, and he was very gracious in defeat, and he made mention of the 5th wicket partnership of the Alpha Quash. He's called it heroic, actually. It's Gantavia Malhotra, the Tigers 3rd 11 captain. They pulled him out of a real mess.
They put on 92 in 27 overs.
That was the match-winning partnership, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, that kind of wraps the JCL season, and that brings us one step closer to the end of this pod. But I have asked all you boys to pick an 11, your JCL Team of the Year. So, to my left, I'm going to start with Deano. Who's your Team of the Year, mate? Do you want to give us your 1 to 11 and explain why? Because you're going to get quizzed on this, People
I'll probably just give you the players I thought were really impressive this season. I don't think.
I want 1 to 11.
1 to 11.
You got given 5 days notice, Team. If you haven't picked your team, note to everyone: I haven't picked my team either. I'm a busy guy. But okay, go on, Dino. Who stood out for you?
I'll probably go. Obviously, I'll start in my team. I think I'll probably fit Kazumasa in there.
Interesting.
I'll probably fit Kazumasa in my team of the year. Scored runs, took wickets, and a few some serious catches throughout the season too. He's a full package, can bat, can bowl, can field. So I'll put Kazumasa in there.
Anyone else? just the one player?
I only played a couple of games, but
you're a fan. You've been watching, I'm sure.
I'll probably say, Pat Moore is always in as a keeper, I think, or consistent, scores runs every season, season campaigner, understands his game well, and he looks like he knows how to consistently score runs and in the competition, and I think he comes in as the wicket keeper in the team.
Yeah, he's got this level sussed. Alright, I know Reo's picked his team.
I'm still missing a few players.
Panicking.
Just go to me last.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, because you guys are clearly so well planned. I know Dougal's got his sorted, but I'm going to start with reading out the official team of the year, because we're doing this after the awards, so it's already been revealed. As we speak, no one knows this. But yes, the official team of the year, somehow, I think this is a mistake, but it includes Dhugal Bedingfield.
Excellent choice.
422 runs at 60. Alex Shilai Patmore, well done, Dino, you got one right. He made 420 runs. You've got Shogo Kimura, Sarfraz Petkar, Subhash Ravichandran, Vinay Thakur, Kasun Ganesh, Kazumasa Hiratsuka. Dino, you got another one right. Sankar Pandari, Mali Naranjan, and Tomonoshin Oki. So that's the official team of the year chosen by the JCL committee. Dougal smirking. If I ask Dougal for his team of the year, is it going to be exactly the same? Last year there was a difference. I remember you and I discussing this, and we both agreed that someone who was left out of the
someone should be in the team who wasn't. Yeah, that's often the case. So I think sometimes the selectors are overly reliant on statistics. So I'd prefer if it was kind of match impact. But no, I think that's a pretty good team of the year this time around. I wouldn't argue too much about that one. I'm not sure how I got in there, but happy to be there until I'm still
young enough to walk.
Yeah.
The injuries haven't caught up yet.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just wanted to flag a couple of guys outside of Division 1 because there were some pretty impressive numbers this year. And
sure.
This year I mentioned in the preview to the tournament that Shubham Shukla was a player to watch for Max without knowing that he'd actually moved to Division 2 to play for the KKR. But he scored 440 runs at a strike rate of 120. So Shubham's done pretty well. He's topped the run scoring charts in Division 2.
Yeah, you would suggest that a club like Max Cricket Club wouldn't mind his services in Division 1? Yeah,
they could have done with those runs. Meanwhile, on the bowling front, I need to mention, I need to get this right, Shailaj Lal, who's taken 25 wickets in Division 2. And not only has he taken 25 wickets, but I think he scored a couple of hundred runs as well for the Falcons. So he's... Shailaj, there he goes. He scored 250 runs and taken 25 wickets, Shailaj.
Yeah, he bowls some curious little wobblers, and he mystifies the odd batsman.
And he can't get in the first team. And instead he umpires for us as part of the umpiring panel. So, good man all round, Shailaj.
Can play.
One of the guys I rely on more often. Now, Reo, have you got your team? Have you got anywhere? Have you got anything to offer for this particular line of conversation? Because if not, we're going to move on to the quiz, and at that point, you guys are all going to hate me.
It was pretty similar, to be honest. But the thing with me is I don't look at stats. I just go against players I play against, and you just get that feeling. So my team is a bit different, but no, don't bother me saying it. Just
I want to hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Just reel it off.
I've got Marcus Thurgate's team of the year, which I think was just in the presentation as a guess. I don't know if this was official, but I saw it in the slideshow, and I reckon that Marcus has put a bit of thought into this because knowing Marcus as I do, he's a complete nerd. So Marcus had Alex Shillai Patmore opening the batting. He had that with Richie Bracefield. He had Dhugal Bedingfield at 3 and Sabarish at 4. Sarfraz at 5 as a gimme. Shogo at 6. Kasun Ganesh at 7. And then somehow he's figured out to put Reo Sakurano-Thomas in at 8. Ibi Takahashi at 9. Kohei Kubota at 10. And Tomonoshi Okin at 11. So, from a Japanese squad member's point of view, I think there may have been a little bit of bias in there. He, like you, ignores the stats. But Ibi at 9 is suggests there's a bit of depth in that batting. So yeah. Come on, Ray, what have you got?
Yeah, so I got my top 3: Patmore, Bedingfield, and Shogo.
He's got a lot of runs. He bats at the top of the order for Wyverns.
Then I got Sarfraz and Sebo and Kasun Gamage in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Got Kazu and Melith as like your little all-round type players.
Hitting low and bowling.
Yeah. And then I had Piyush, Kubo and Oki.
Interesting. So yeah, I was about to say that Piyush is a name that we haven't mentioned so far. So I'm glad someone's given the guy some credit because I reckon he keeps the economy low and doesn't necessarily get the wickets he deserves. All right, boys, we've got a dinner reservation, so we don't want to go on too long. But I have devised a quiz for this podcast because I listen to a few podcasts and the ones I like have quizzes. So I've set this up with 4 rounds. I added a 4th round. The first round is going to be on the subject we've just had, the JCL stats. The second round will be on domestic T20 cricket. The third round will be on international cricket for this year. And the 4th round is going to be on each other, which I'm really looking forward to.
Oh my god.
Now, you each get one question. I've tried to design it so that there's like a couple of hard questions for each of you and a couple of gimmies. So you'll have to work out which ones are the gimmies and which ones are the hard ones. We'll start with the JCL stats, and I reckon, Dougal, this is probably your gimme question. I'm going to go with you first. The order will always be Dougal, Reo, Deano. That's just how I wrote it. Dougal, how many centuries were scored in Division 1 this year?
Oh god, I don't know.
Dougal, I was backing you here.
Well, someone scored 2 of them, Curry.
I don't know who that could be.
There were 4 scored in round 1, and
there's 13 rounds, so you can multiply.
There were probably
that.
2 or 3 more. So I'm just going to go with. I'm going to get it wrong, but I'm going to go with 9.
I don't swear on this podcast, but holy moly, you've nailed it. I'm also going to say there is an opportunity to steal. I should have explained that. So if the guy with the question gets it wrong, whoever's not in that question can just give a quick yell, gimme, you get the opportunity to steal. So, Dougal, 1.
Jeez.
Unreal. Reo, you're up next. Which men's national squad member had the best economy rate in the JCL Division 1? Minimum of 5 overs bowled. This is a savage question.
It's either got to be Piyush or Sebo. Which one? I'm just going to go Piyush.
Yeah, that's wrong. And it wasn't the other one either. Steal?
I'll steal it.
He's been looking at the stats.
If it wasn't Piyush, I reckon it was someone random like Miyauchi.
He's been looking at the stats. Wataru Miyauchi had an economy rate of 3 from 5 overs.
Yeah, he's rubbish, by the way.
That shouldn't count.
He's the wicketkeeper. Hey, stats, 5.
Yeah.
Which is why the minimum was 5 overs. It was a slightly set up question.
Yeah.
Deano. Now, I tried to help you out here, mate. Which men's national squad member scored the most runs this season? We just read some of the stats out. So
I reckon there's 2 who scored almost the same. So it's a bit of a toss up there.
So you may even have 2 choices.
Oh, that's isn't it Shogo.
I'm going to give it to
I'll
you.
steal.
Shogo and Patmore both.
Oh,
They both scored 420. So I'll accept either answer. Shogo scored 420 runs at an average of 60, and Alex scored 420 runs at an average of 84. So after round 1, Dougal's got 2 points, Reo 0, Deano has 1. Leading run scorer we just touched on for the season was Sarfaraz Petgal with 465. We mentioned those two guys scoring 420. They were not the second. The second highest run scorer was Dhugal Bedingfield with 422 runs. That's quite a lot of runs, Dougal.
Oh, yeah, I had a couple of good days out, though.
Yeah, well played, mate.
Yeah.
Domestic T20, Dougal. Who was the leading run scorer in the JCL T20 this year? I know that you know this.
I think it was Ankit Panwa from the Men in Blue.
That is correct. 153 runs.
He can hit a very long ball.
From only four
fella.
matches.
Yeah, he smashes it. I remember him coming into bat against the Sharks and just hitting his first ball like 30 metres over the boundary for 6. I'm like, who's this? Who the hell's who is this guy?
Reo, I'm reading your questions and thinking I may have done you a dirty here.
Yeah, you probably have.
Who was the only player to have a strike rate of higher than 100 in both the JCL T20 and the Japan Cup Finals?
Higher than 100.
Only one player did it in both comps.
Do I get a hint? Call it.
It's a pretty safe. If you've been around longer, it's a very safe guess. I reckon.
Japan Cup Finals. I'm going Supun.
Correct.
Yes.
Super Navaratna.
Come on.
108 in the JCL T20 and 201 his strike rate in Japan Cup Finals. Deano, in the JCL T20, which all-rounder was the second highest run scorer and second highest wicket taker?
all-rounder. Well, there's only one all-rounder in my books. I'll give it a go and go with Kazamasa.
Who also played one game.
Oh, Deano. No. Steal?
Can I steal that?
You've got to use your voice. There's a podcast around. Putting your hand up doesn't work.
Ibrahim Takahashi.
With 152 runs and 8 wickets.
Currently playing club cricket in Brisbane and doing really well.
Apparently so, yeah. Whilst we're on domestic T20 cricket, a bonus point is up for grabs for anyone who can tell me the leading Embassy Cup run scorer.
What, of all time?
No, this year.
Oh,
Yeah?
Saffraz.
Oh, you moron. No, beep, you're out. The leading Embassy Cup...
Surely it's me.
The leading... Too late. The buzzer buzzed. The leading Embassy Cup run scorer was Dhugal Bedingfield with 93. 93 retired as well in one of the games. Okay, international cricket. I reckon I'm going to push you a little bit with this one, Dhugal. The other two aren't going to get it. But in the recent Women's East Asia Cup, Shizuka Miyagi became Japan women's cricket leading international wicket taker. Who did she surpass?
Oh, as leading wicket taker?
Yeah.
It'd have to be Kurumi Ota.
Incorrect.
What?
Can anyone steal? I don't expect you guys to be able to steal, but I'm going to give you the
You would have said it once, but I would have forgotten.
You're on comms,
is
mate. I said it several times.
Kitayama or Akiyama. Something
Can
like
I have another guess?
No. It was a Yama, but Nakayama.
Oh.
You could have kept going.
Ayako Nakayama, she bowled a little bit like the Chris Harris from New Zealand back in the day.
They take poles though.
Leg cutters, yeah, it was really good stuff.
I was trying to record these scores. Deano got a 0 in round 2. Right. Reo.
Yes.
Yeah, you've definitely got the... Okay. Japan will play Papua New Guinea and Vanuatu in the men's regional final next year. Which Japanese player featured against both those teams as a specialist batter coming in at 9 the last time Japan played both of those opponents? You
Can I
know
get the
him.
year?
You know him well.
Can I get the year?
The year,
Yeah.
2014.
Specialist batsman at 9. That's a good gig.
Specialist batsman at 9. Yeah.
I know him well. Bebe Miyachi.
Oh, you're doing him. Bebe was better than that.
I have no idea.
and he also bowls, apparently.
Yeah.
Not very well.
I think I know this one.
Well, he's had his guess. Is that your final answer? Well, it is. You've established
Yeah,
it. So who's
I
to
guess
steal?
so.
Dougal, you were coach, Dougal, so I shouldn't really allow you to steal, but, I mean, go on then.
Oh, sorry, specialist batsman at 9.
Specialist batsman at 9.
Papua New Guinea and...
And Vanuatu.
Actually, Yoshi Uehara played those games,
Mhm.
but he did keep wicket in those games, so I wouldn't call him a specialist batsman.
According to the scorecards, he did not keep wickets in those games.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Oh.
According to the official scorecard, Prashant Kale kept in those games.
No, we rested Prashant for those games.
No, he apparently played. Well, I looked at the scorecard.
Okay.
Anyway, it's part of a
Okay.
good story. Never let the truth get in the way. The
No,
answer
he-
is Yoshi Uehara.
I said the wrong JC stuff.
You
No,
did.
He was part of the national squad for probably 2 or 3
more than
years.
1 year, I think.
Yeah, Yoshi. He was actually the 3rd highest run scorer in the JCL First Division in 2013.
The year before we arrived. So
If you can
we
believe
didn't-
that.
We didn't see it, therefore it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, Dino. Mai Yanagida recently became the 6th Japanese player across men and women to earn 50 caps for Japan. Who in the current squads would be the next to reach that landmark if form and fitness permit?
Oh. Wow. I'll probably go with. This is gonna make me laugh. Probably Aiga Canada.
Men and women.
Oh, men and women.
So I think you've probably misunderstood the question. I'm going to give you a life.
Give me a life. Oh, fitness. Form and fitness.
Who's played a lot of cricket?
Can
for
I
Japan?
steal
Oh,
this?
I'll
I'll
get
get
his
it.
answer yet.
I'll get it. Padmore.
Oh, gee.
Oh no.
Can I go with Makoto Taniya?
Hang on.
I just said it's not a hand thing. It's a podcast. You
Oh,
want to
you just
speak.
got to
Dino?
yell out the
Reo?
answer.
Come on!
Rayo's got a point.
No.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Makoto Taniyama currently
I
has
thought he was
39
way over
caps.
50 for some reason.
He has
but-
39 caps and he's ready to go. All right, boys. All right, I've got a little extra fact. So, leading international series run scorer this year, Kendall Kadawaki Fleming with 277 runs at a strike rate of 200. I just put little snippets in there for each round. Right, final round. At the end of round 3, Dougal has 3 points, Reo has 2 points, Dino has 1 point. It can all come up, mate. Some steals. I reckon you might be in the mix with the steals. Dougal. Reo took 5 for 17 on his T20 international debut.
Yeah.
Where do these figures rank on the list of best figures on international debut in men's T20 internationals?
Someone told me the answer to this.
I told you the answer to this
And
some
I've
time
forgotten
ago,
the answer.
and you've forgotten it. I was banking on that. Yeah.
The
The funny thing is, I'm also reckoning that Reo has forgotten the answer to this too.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty high up, isn't it?
Rubbish question if it's not.
Yeah, it's in the top 10. So I'm going to go with 6th.
Any steals? The floor's open.
Shit.
Sakurano-Thomas.
Now I get confused because you always say like if I didn't get hit for 6
Six
off
off
the
the
last
last
ball,
ball.
I would have been somewhere. So
Mate, if you're going to steal, you're going to give me an answer.
I'm
You
going
can't-
3rd.
Dino, steal?
Steal.
Just pick a number between 3 and 6.
Oh, fucking between. Why would it be between 3 and 6?
Just helping them out. No, it's out. The answer is
Fifth.
5.
Yeah, it was that one.
It's 5th.
I was
And
gonna
had
go-
you not been hit for 6, you would have finished 3rd.
Yeah, that's where I get confused.
Dougal records a blank. God. Okay, Reo.
Yes.
In 4 innings this season, what is Deano's batting average? I'll give it to you to the nearest 10.
Now, was that Community Cup a not out? I'm gonna go. What were your 2 other innings? I can't remember those. Oh, that was a not out against Paddy's. Yeah. So it's high. It's really high. It's like
He was out 2 or 3 times against the
110.
Sharks. Put that in.
Oh, I'm so happy this came out. Should we discuss that now? There was a captain's report listing. Read that. The spirit of cricket means different things to different people, apparently, according to a certainly sour Chiba Sharks captain.
110.
Oh, I said I'd give it to you to the nearest 10. I feel like I should give it to you, but I'm not going to. 123.5. Yeah, I didn't give anyone the opportunity to steal there. Sorry, guys. Deano. This is my favourite question in the whole thing. In 2021, Dhugal Bedingfield had the best bowling average for the Chiba Sharks of any bowler who took more than 2 wickets in the JCL Division 1. How many wickets did he take this season?
This season?
Yes, this season. How many JCL wickets did Dhugal take this year?
I'll probably say 8.
Does this count T20?
I'm not allowing Dhugal. No, this is a JCL. I'm not allowing Dhugal to steal this, right? So you're allowed to.
Bowl? I'm going 0 because I can't remember.
Nailed it! Did not even bowl an over in the JCL this year.
Because I remember taking a couple again in the T20s.
Which means we have a tie break, and I didn't prepare a tie break.
Hang on. I took JCL T20. The last wicket I took was that of Sabaris Ravichandran.
So it didn't count.
Yeah, well.
That's why I asked if it's T20.
I only get the good players out.
I was talking about, the question referred to JCL Division 1.
Alright.
So
Fine.
I'm giving away that, which means we've got a joint winner for the quiz. I'll let you both win. Because we've got a dinner reservation. We better get going. So, boys, thanks very much for the whole year. Thanks very much for the podcast. I hope you've all enjoyed your time around Japan cricket this year. I think it's been a vintage season. Would you all agree?
Most definitely. Look
Been
for
epic.
next year.
Absolutely.
More of the same next year, please. We've got 2 Sano Cricket Club players. We've got a Chiba Sharks player. We've got a lot to look forward to. Competitions galore, international cricket. A lot to get excited about.
Before we go, do we get one bold prediction for the next season?
Do you know what? We've got a new host for the podcast. Why not? I'm all for it. One bold prediction. Reo, you've put it out there. What are you going with? What's your big call for 2023?
Obviously, Japan men's team to qualify for the 2024 World Cup.
Nailed it. Dougal?
He's just stolen.
No, you can't copy.
It's all about stealing. I've got nothing now. I've been,
Japan under 19s to qualify for the 2024 World Cup in the West Indies, surely.
yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
There's some obstacles there.
Yeah.
Dino, big prediction?
Sano.
Oh, Sano in the final.
Dino to average 200 next year? Dino to actually bat a bit more next year? I don't know.
Sano in the final.
Sano in the final.
Hopefully I get a game.
Come on, dudes. Look at domestic cricket. What's your big call? This is your area of expertise. We will do a pre-season recording this anyway, so you can backtrack later.
Dhugal Bedingfield top of the tech.
Dhugal Bedingfield to bowl an over in JCL Division 1.
Yeah, Bedingfield to bowl one over in the JCL next year.
It's
That's
worth-
a bold prediction.
Well, you are captain of the team, so you know
You never
you
know.
chose not to bowl yourself.
After
despite
this
your
year,
record.
maybe not.
All right, everyone. Thanks very much. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in and listened over the course of this season. Lots of episodes, lots of me not editing stuff and putting episodes up. Sorry about that. The podcast will be back next year in some form or other. Until then, otsukare sama deshita.